Welcome back to Just Chattin', and this is the series of videos we do on Thursday and Sunday evenings just for our own amusement. So for all you Audie fans, my bad boy is in the bedroom, on the floor, in the doorway, so you can't go into the bedroom without stepping over him or without picking him up and putting him somewhere else, which is what I think he actually wants. He's playing the victim. You know, if he did not despise Nutmeg quite so much, I'd swear he was taking lessons from her. For the last several days, because it has been hot out, he has been doing this pity the poor cat routine. And right now, it's, look at me, I'm sleeping on the floor, like some animal. You should do something about this. So he wants me to put treats on his food and change his water for the 4th time this morning, etc. But I have got to acknowledge his status as a victim. I don't think he will be making an appearance. I think he is too wrapped up in his own victimhood today. But who knows? He might. All right, we are going to stop for a moment for the intro, and we will be right back with the topic for this evening. So, Nutmeg dropped her as ever rosé a few days ago. It was July 2nd, Diana's birthday. Everyone is commenting on the fact that Diana, having died at the hands of a drunk driver, dropping wine on her birthday is beyond tacky. It's typical of what Nutmeg does. She loves co-opting other people's special days. In this case, it would be a special day for the sock puppet, for William, for other members of the royal family who actually knew Diana. But yeah, everything's fair game for her. And the reviews are in, and they are not good. But before we get into that, I thought we would get into some of the fun stories. Because when things go poorly for Nutmeg, she shuts up for a couple of days and then blasts us with all kinds of photos and fabricated stories on social media to try to sort of retrench. And right now, because she's in a quiet mode, it won't last. It never does. Weird stories have been showing up. Sometimes they are old stories, sometimes they are strange stories, and the one I wanted to share with you this evening, and this is not our main story, this is just the little fun intro, is extremely amusing. Nutmeg is apparently having a meltdown because she was not invited to the Bezos-Sanchez wedding. I don't know what to say about this. I know what Nutmeg is alleged to have said, which is, hey, the Kardashians got an invite, and I'm more famous than they are. It's like, yeah, well, so's Jack the Ripper, and nobody's inviting him to their weddings. And quite frankly, I imagine he couldn't possibly be a worse wedding guest than Nutmeg. Because let's not forget that Nutmeg went to Eugenie's wedding after having squabbled in that whole Tiaragate scandal to try to get the tiara that had been earmarked in advance for Eugenie's wedding. Unsuccessful, shows up, announces her pregnancy there. And Eugenie was allegedly her friend, and this is what she did. So, yeah, not good wedding guest. Or how about, prior to that, we're going back to 2017, when she and the sock puppet were still dating, the Inskip wedding. Now, the story around this one is that Harry and Nutmeg had split up sometime between the point at which the invitations were sent out and the wedding took place. Now, as anybody who's ever been involved in one of these large weddings knows, that's a pretty long period of time. So apparently their relationship was on the off side at this point. It is rumored that Nutmeg actually just crashed, that she was supposed to be going as Harry's plus one. They split up, therefore Harry was going alone, and she just up and showed up unexpectedly. Now, we have no verification of that, and heaven knows we're not going to get it from Nutmeg or the sock puppet. But what we do know, and this is coming from other wedding guests and the photos to back it up, she spent the day arguing with Harry and generally giving off mean girl vibes. So yeah, not the ideal wedding guest. And even at her own wedding, she ditched her family and her childhood friends. No invitation for Nikki Pretty, who was maid of honor at her first wedding. Family, only Doria showed up. Even the niece with whom she allegedly has such a good relationship was not invited to her wedding to make room for a bunch of strangers. Even her castmates from Suits, who she described as like family, they are just her besties, were only invited to the wedding and not the evening reception. So yeah, Nutmeg and weddings, really, really bad combination. But again, I can't even determine that Jeff Bezos or Lauren Sanchez knows Nutmeg. We know that Bezos and Harry have met because apparently they met during that bizarre Legends of Aviation sham award that he received. And why? Because we have the photo to prove it. Now, I expect if Nutmeg had met the third richest man in the world, she would have the selfie to prove it too. But no. So why she would have expected to be invited, and why she would have expected to be invited over the Kardashians, who apparently do know Bezos. And even though they may be, the selfie queens of the Western world, do not have a reputation for upstaging other people at their own weddings. Apparently they are very polite wedding guests. So yeah, makes perfect sense. Kardashians are in, Nutmeg and Jack the Ripper are out. No brainer. So let's just move on to the wine. Now, Nutmeg's As Ever products have already been presumed, in some cases proven, to have been sourced from companies that specialize in producing generic products that other people buy, slap their own label on, and claim as their own. I wouldn't go so far as to say this is an unethical business practice, because it's fairly common. If you go into a place like Walmart and you see the Walmart store brand on a can of peas, Walmart is not producing those peas. A pea company, whatever pea companies are out there, is producing this. They're doing it under contract for Walmart. Walmart puts their label on it, sells it on the shelf. In that sense, it's a pretty straightforward, on the up and up proposition. The difference between something like that and what Nutmeg is doing is she is selling her own brand, her own curated lifestyle products. And they are, in fact, not curated products by any stretch of the imagination. They are being described as oh so special, and they're not. These are things that anyone could and does buy, put their own label on it, and sell it to the public. So if you buy Nutmeg's tea, and we know this because the tea manufacturer actually left their metadata on some of the photos, and they were tracked down. So if you go out and buy Nutmeg's tea for whatever exorbitant price she's selling it for, take it home, go off, buy this same tea from Walmart or Kroger or whoever else is buying it and putting their label on it, you have the exact same tea. It's the same. The difference is the label and the price tag. Now, when you buy store brand products, the trade-off for getting this sort of no-name generic is you get a lower price. That's just how it works. You know what you are buying. You are buying no-name brand peas. With Nutmeg, however, she is marketing these products as special, as artisanal, as crafted to her own specifications. She has gone on podcasts talking about all the work she does and how involved she is in this. She is in no way involved in this. These are companies that are producing this stuff, and she is buying it, I would say, not even the same way Walmart or Kroger or Piggly Wiggly are buying it, because they are straight up about it. She is buying it and then not only literally repackaging it, but figuratively repackaging it as well. The stores buy the product as generic tea that can be purchased cheap and sold at a good price, so their customers will buy it and they will get a portion of the profits. Normal business. With Nutmeg, what is happening is she is going off, she's buying these cheap products that are designed for resale because they're no-name products under other labels, but she is claiming they are something very, very special. Walmart is making no such claims about their generic peas, so the consumer is in no way being duped. Everyone knows what's going on. With Nutmeg, no, the consumer is being duped. She is presenting these products as her own curated lifestyle items. These are Nutmeg's hand-picked products. No, it's like Walmart peas. I didn't think it could get worse than this, but it has with the wine. So, a Reddit user who goes by the Reddit name of St. Meghan Markle. I don't know who this person is, but I have, in fact, seen their posts before. This Reddit user did some very good research, and by the way, they posted their research sources, and I did check them. The research is sound. They ran the barcode on the bottle of Nutmeg's wine and traced it back to a company that specializes in corporate gift products. So, what are corporate gift products? Corporate gift products are, it's a generic term, and it's not just for corporations. You go to a wedding, or you go to a bar mitzvah, and you get something to take home with you, a little lanyard, a bit of swag. The wedding, it's very often engraved champagne flutes. That tends to be one of the big things. And it will have the name of the bride and groom on it. Or you go to a bar mitzvah, and the kippah will have the name of the bar mitzvah boy that's yours to take home. It's just, thank you for coming to the wedding. Thank you for coming to the bar mitzvah. Have a little souvenir. And many, many companies do this. You go on YouTube and you buy somebody's merch. And it's being produced by companies like this. The YouTuber's name or logo will be printed on a t-shirt. You buy it, but it's coming from this company. Yeah, that's the situation with the corporate wine company. So the way this works is, let's say the Greater Cincinnati Chevrolet Car Dealership Association has their little sales meeting, obviously in Cincinnati, and they want to give something, a gift, to the salespeople who are selling their products, and it's a bottle of wine. And they will get it from this company, slap their label on it. Their label is not a resale label. It will say Cincinnati Chevrolet Dealers Association, 2025 spring sales meeting. That's how it works. The reason I say this is worse than what Walmart does is because Walmart and other companies like this, I'm not trying to target Walmart in particular, but it's very popular with food chains. They will buy products from wholesalers and with the intent, and this is the intent from the moment that product is processed in the factory, to resell to the general public. These corporate gifts are not designed for resale. They are designed to be giveaways. And they could not really be marketed as resale items because they do charge a premium. They make profit on what they are merchandising, whatever the product is, in this case wine. They make a profit on the wine, and they make a profit on the work they do in terms of slapping that special label on it. They will print up the label, they will put it on the wine bottles, etc. It's not meant for resale. That is not the intention. Now, is it illegal to resell this? No, I don't think so. Although, to be fair, 50 states, 50 sets of consumer laws, I don't know that for a fact. But I don't think it is. I think that the issue here is Nutmeg is buying wine that is of a quality that makes it appropriate for a giveaway. It is swag. It is not fine wine. Putting her label on it and then claiming this is something she has personally curated. This is her wine, her brand. She was involved in this. No, you or I could go to that company this afternoon, buy wine, put whatever kind of label we want. The company will do it for you, and then bring it home and say, look, I have wine. That's what she has done. So I think at this point, there is no doubt that all of the hype Nutmeg is trying to generate about her elegant and exclusive lifestyle brand, and remember, these products have the price tag to go along with that hype. Gosh, what was she? It was like $14 for a little tin of flour sprinkles. Frightening. The wine, as I understand it, is selling for $30 a bottle, which is a pretty high price for wine that was intended to be a giveaway item. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of profit in there for somebody. But it's more about the quality of the product that is being presented to the consumers and the complete misrepresentation of that quality. This is giveaway wine. This was intended to be used for corporate promotions, for private parties. I would imagine there are people who give away wine at private parties. Who knows what kind of people give away wine? I'm not going to pretend. I'm not a drinker. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on what people do with their alcoholic beverages. But it is very clear that these products are, this far above Temu, if that? Because at least the Temu products, which are being sourced from wholesalers, are intended for resale. These items are not. These are not. These are not something that the manufacturer, which would be the vintner of the wine, intended for people to be putting out in the marketplace for resale. If the vintner thought that was appropriate, they would probably be selling it under their own label. So, is it any wonder that people like Jon Stewart are describing this wine as tasting like tap water? Oh yeah, Jon Stewart weighed in on this. And as if being blasted by South Park isn't bad enough, you've got the king of comedy tearing you down too. So this is why Nutmeg is in hiding. And this is also, by the way, a story that really needs to get out. So, as always, my sources are listed in the video notes, including this Reddit article. And I do hope that you will all take a look at it, because this is somewhere between a sham and a scam. I would say, if I were going to be harsh, I would elevate it to a scam, because Nutmeg is, in fact, selling bottom-tier product as elegant, curated, chosen by her, and it's just, this is the good life. This is her aspirational lifestyle brand. And it's not. It's like going to the store to buy a filet mignon, getting home, opening the package, and finding out that it's actually Alpo dog food. No offense to Alpo. It is so far removed from the elegant, curated brand she is pushing that, like I say, I think I could be justified in saying it is a scam. Absolutely a sham, no doubt about that, because the disconnect between what she's selling and what she's claiming she's selling is so big, it could be measured in light years. So, I think this is absolutely a story that needs to get out there, because this Reddit user has the proof. They've got the receipts. And as I say, I followed up on all of their sightings in their Reddit post, and yes, the information is good. No question about it. So I do think this is something that should be spread out. And ordinarily, I don't ask you to share videos, but I am going to ask you to share this one, because people need to know. There are people out there who are buying Nutmeg's products expecting to get caviar when in fact they're getting cat food. So it's all well and good to say, well, buyer beware. If you buy from Nutmeg, you deserve what you get. And certainly that is going to be the opinion of the vast majority of the Megxit community, that the only people who are being abused in this are the Sussex squad, because they're the only people buying the stuff. But there are going to be people who buy it, perhaps out of curiosity, perhaps because they believe the hype. People who are buying without realizing how badly taken advantage of they are being by Nutmeg. So yeah, if you can, please do share. You don't have to share the video. Talk to your friends about it. At the very least, make sure the information gets out there. Do share the Reddit post. It's in the video notes. Because yeah, at this point, I would say she is going way too far. There is a difference between hyping generic wholesale tea and slapping a higher price on it and selling items that were never meant to be sold on to consumers. Why? Because it's not about the quality of the wine. It's about the labeling and the commemoration of the event. And most people would take this bottle of wine home, stick it in their wine cabinet or on their kitchen counter or whatever people do with their alcoholic beverages, because it's about the event. It's a souvenir, a keepsake, not something they are going to be drinking. Yeah, so we've got to get the word out about this. All right, that is what I have for you today. We are going to take a look at a slideshow. As you can see, Audie did not make an appearance. He is, once again, just like Nutmeg, playing the victim card and lying in the bedroom in the hopes that somebody will come along, take pity on him, and invite him to the Bezos-Sanchez wedding. By the way, it's not happening. Nutmeg, Jack the Ripper, and my cat are not going anywhere. All right. Thank you for being with us. We're going to take a look at a slideshow on the way out. And in the meanwhile, have a terrific day.